start with reading. Making judgments is the topic. If you remember, you already copied this, so you don't have to copy right now. Do not copy. Making judgments, it says. What is making judgment, class? Who knows what is making a judgment?
We use facts from the story
Mhm.
and what we know to form opinions about the characters or situations.
Okay, that's right. So making judgment is using some information about the story, using some information about the story and what you already know, some information that you already know to create a new opinion, to give a judgment, to give a judge about that story. It can be about all the story, or it can be just about one specific character or all the characters. It depends what you want to make a judge. So making judgments is to use facts from the story and your knowledge, what you already know, what you think about any event, any situation that it can be facing a character. So that is making a judgment. It can vary, yes, it depends on what you know, how you are going to create an opinion about a character, and also it can vary. For example, Ana Flores can make one judgment about any event that it can be different from Marcelo's judgment. Why? Because even though they have the same fact, they have something different that is the knowledge that they already have. Now, you don't have to copy this. What does it mean to make a judgment? Remember that we describe what is judge. So the letter J stands, just think about what you read.
No pude copiar.
You don't have to copy this. You use your experiences of what you know. D, decide on what you believe has happened. Letter J, gain enough information to form an opinion. The much information that you have from the book, it's the better that you are going to have an opinion that is going to be based on the facts. And the letter E stands for end up with a sensible answer. So first, what we need to do is to read, then think about what you already know, your thoughts, your values, your beliefs, and enough information that you have about the facts is the better that you're going to have a judgment. We can say that they are like steps. So here we have another information that says, how do you make judgments, class? First, you look the information, as I was telling you, you have to read. You look for information, the facts that you have in the passage or the facts that you have about the characters. Use your life experiences, the information, the knowledge that you know, and consider your beliefs. Consider your beliefs or your thoughts. That is the way that we can make some judgments. Now, let's make a judgment, class. That is going to be number one. Which animal is it? It says, here we're going to make a judgment based on the information that we have. Sian, help me to read this, Sian.
Which animal is it? Jane went outside for a walk. She looked up when she heard trip.
Okay, excellent. So Jane, it must be a girl. She was in a walk. Now, who can tell me which of these animals it's the one that Jane heard?
Not A.
You think that is letter A? Why, Sian?
Because she looked up.
You're using that information, you're making your judgment. What else?
I think it's the B.
The letter B.
Yeah,
Why,
the B.
Rebecca? Why letter B?
But she, I don't know, but I think
You think
it's
that
the B, but she look at the up and look at the sky.
What is this animal, by the way? What is this animal, Rebecca?
Hippopotamo?
You think it's a hippo?
No.
No?
I think it's rinoceronte. I think.
Rinoceronte.
It's a rhino? Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
rhinos.
And okay, so you think that the rhino is the one that was saying
They're
chirp,
the-
chirp, chirp.
Yeah.
Okay, who else? Who else?
A.
Thank you. A, Gabriela, why?
Because I don't know. Because I don't know.
You don't know, but you think that it's letter A as yeah.
Yes.
Who else? Who
By
wants
the
to give
A?
me an answer?
Yes,
The bird is like making sound. Almost like
Sian.
trip. It's like
Excellent,
saying,
Sian, you
hello.
got it. It's letter A because it was chirp, 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 chirp. What is the sound? It's the sound that some birds can make. The hypo doesn't make that sound. The lions neither. So it's letter A. So based on what you know, Sian was reading this information, and based on her knowledge, she pointed out that it's letter A because she knows that these animals make the chirp, chirp sound. So look, using the information, the facts that we have, and all this information with the knowledge that you know, you get a judgment. So you know that this is an animal. Why letter B no? Because you say that it's a hypo. The hypo doesn't make that sound, the chirp, chirp, so it's not that information. So we need to be careful when we're reading to see all the facts, all the information that we can gather to know the answer. Now, number 2, we have another one. We're going to make another judgment. So let's see. Help me to read this, Hermes. Hermes, help me to read this.
Danny was sick and did not come to school. Rob went to his home, bring his homework and see how he was feeling. Rob is a very good friend.
Thank you. Now we're going to make a judgment. Is it a good example of judgment? Yes or no? Is this an example that Rob is a very good friend of what do you think, class? It's a good example of judgment, to make a judgment?
no,
No?
Yes.
no.
Yes?
No.
Hermes, what do you think, Hermes? No. Why no, Hermes? Tell me, why not?
No.
Why you say no?
Okay, no.
Don't, do not say because no. Why? Give me the reason. Gabriela, tell me, what do you think, Gabriela?
Because his homework puede estar mala, su homework.
It can be wrong, the homework?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, who said yes? Who said yes, class? I don't really listen to someone that say no. Who said yes?
Rebecca, Khaled.
Khaled? Okay, Khaled, tell me why you say yes. Why do you think it's a good example of judgment?
Se me olvidó algo.
A mí también, ya se me olvidó.
You forgot it. Who say yes? Besides Khaled, who say yes? What is an example of judgment?
Rebecca.
Rebecca? Okay, tell me, Rebecca, why you say yes, that it's a good example of judgment and Rob is a very good friend?
I don't know, but I think right now is no bad. I think she go and see your homework.
That's right. Okay, the answer is yes. Let me tell you why yes. Some of you say yes.
I remember.
Why? Look here. It says Danny was sick. Imagine that one of your classmates is sick and you are his or her best friend. You're going to call her, or you're going to call him, or you're going to go to their house. Well, right now, because of the COVID, you cannot go to their houses, right? But you can call them, you can chat, you can use Zoom or another app to get in touch with your friends or your classmates. So it says that Rob, this is the boy, Rob went to his home to bring his homework. He didn't bring the homework done. Just say, okay, for tomorrow we have homework in science. For tomorrow we have homework in this and that classes. So he is just letting know to Danny the homework that they have. So, and also it says to see how he was feeling. He wants to know if Danny was okay or not. So that is to be a good friend. Don't you do that with your friends? No? No. You don't call them and you see, hello, how are you today? No? Okay, but that is a good example of a judgment. That is a good example of a judgment. Yes, you already know that you have to be a good friend. So it's an example of judgment. Now, let's open the book. Let's work now on the book on page 238. we're going to read this short story, Welcome to Maxburn Farm. But here we have also the definition of make a judgment. It says that means thinking about and deciding how to react toward people, situations, and ideas in the stories and articles that you read. So it's how you think about how you can react. For example, in the previous one, Raul was deciding to go to visit Danny because he was reacting in that way. So he makes a judgment. Use what you know in your experiences and you make judgments. Ask yourself if the author is trying to influence you. Does the author support the idea he or she presents in the test? So now we're going to read Welcome to Maxburn's Farm. Who is in that page? 238. Gabriela? Okay, you're going to help me the first part, Gabriela. Welcome to Maxburn Farm.
But I have a question.
Tell me,
no,
what's-
not a question. Look my book.
A comment? Sorry, let me see. What happened with your book?
Has something white.
Something white? It might be
Yeah.
just the color of the picture here.
No. Has something white. I don't see the letters.
You don't see all the letters?
Oh yes, but algunas no. I don't see.
Okay, might be a mistake. Who has that page, class? Who is in that page 238? Camila? Okay, Camila, help me to read.
Welcome to Maxburn Farm. I guess you heard how amazing rich our farm is. Anything will going wrong it quick. Seed burst in the ground and crops shoot up before your eyes. Why? Just yesterday, our oldest boy dropped a 5-cent piece, and before he could find it, that nickel had grown to a quarter. Early one morning, a strange-hearted stranger came ambling along the road. My, he was tall. I do believe it is.
Hat, continue.
Had fell off, it will take a day or two to reach the ground.
Okay, stop here. Thank you. Continue, Lucia. Finish to read, Lucia.
Who is here? He said, I am his blind face, John from here, there, and other places. John from here, no, you painting your barn cheek.
Okay, sorry. Okay, continue. That man was not
That
only-
man was not only tall, skilly, and tangle-haired. He was near-sighted. We don't own a barn, I said. He screamed aloud. In that case, he said, he painted it green. John, I smiled. He painted that no barn in less than a second, with time left over.
Thank you so much, sweeties. Now, what is this about this story, class? Welcome to Maxburn's Farm. What did you understand in this story?
That a boy has in a farm. That is in a farm.
Yes, it's in a farm. It's talking about different things that happen in a farm. For example, it says how amazing rich our farm is. He's describing what is happening in the farm. It says the seeds burst in the ground and crops shoot right up before your eyes. Do you think that it's possible that the seeds they are going to grow and crops and you have a plant just when you blink, you just close your eyes and you open it, you're going to see the plant? No, right? It's going to take some time. Now, that is an exaggeration. What else it mentioned here? Just yesterday, the oldest boy dropped a 5-cent piece, and before he couldn't find it, that nickel had grown to a quarter. Can you think about that you can have a cent and it can change to another, from a nickel to a quarter?
I don't know.
No, it cannot be possible. Now, Here is describing different things that is happening in the farm, that there are some exaggerations. And also it says, early one morning, and a skinny, tangled-haired stranger, it's describing a boy, came ambling along the road. He was tall. It says that he was tall, and look at here, this is the boy that is on the farm in the picture. And this is the boy that is coming. It's tall. Do you think that it can be possible that we can see a person that is tall like this? That you can
No.
be.
No.
No, right? We
No.
see people that they are taller than us. They can be 2 meters,
No.
but they cannot be like this. Just in the story, it's impossible, right? So as you see, we're making a judgment with the knowledge that we know. We're making a judgment. We cannot see people that they are taller in this way. Okay, and here, if we continue with the reading, we're going to identify more information that it cannot be possible. Now, in your notebook, let's copy this in the notebook. Let's write it down here. We're going to make some judgments about this story, about welcome to Mushroom's family. So copy everything that is here, and we're going to judge. We're going to make a judgment. So number 1, in the story, it mentioned that crops should rise out before your eyes.
Do you have to write this?
Yes, copy this in your note. So number 1, it says
We
that
have to upload to Schoology.
maybe we're going to upload it, maybe. So number 1, we have to make a judgment. Crops should rise out before your eyes. Your eyes are open. Do you think that it's possible? You mentioned that not. It cannot be possible, right? You cannot plant a seed today and just close the eyes and open it. You're going to see a plant or a tree.
Miss Ayengaria,
Impossible.
have connection problems. You only copy this.
Yes, copy this.
Okay.
Khaled, why it's impossible, Khaled?
But have a time. But that time is tarda a lo mucho at most 1 or 1 week to grow.
That's
One year or 2 years or 1 week or 2 or 3 weeks to grow.
excellent, Khaled. It can take weeks. As you mentioned, it can take 1 week, 2 weeks, 3, or even a month to grow. If you plant a seed, you're not going to see just by closing the eyes and opening, you're going to see the plants, the crops. No.
Pero sí podemos ver uno ya crecido, ya nutrido.
Just by closing your eyes, if you plant right now a seed and you close the eyes and you
Copy
open
the
it,
answer.
yes,
No,
right, the answer, everything.
Lo que quiere decir es que ya podemos ver un árbol ya crecido, ya hecho.
Yes, but talking about the same
Ya
seed,
hecho.
Khaled. The same seed. You have the seed and you decided to plant right now in this moment at 1, and then you close your eyes and you open and you see that it's growing. No, right? It's impossible. Yes, so that is a judgment. We know that is impossible. So that is our judgment. Crops take weeks to grow. You're not going to see the crops in this just by closing the eyes. Now, what about number 2? It says the story that it mentioned on the story event, it says a nickel grew to a quarter. This is a nickel class. We have a nickel in a quarter. It's a cent. In the United States, they call nickels a quarter to a cent. Do you think that you can change from a nickel from 1 cent to another cent?
Yes.
Yes. So imagine that in your hands you have 1 lempira. And then it's not going to be 1 lempira, the bill that you have, it's going to be 500 lempiras.
No.
No, right? It's impossible. If you have 1 lempira, it's 1 lempira. You cannot change to 1 lempira to 500 lempiras, even though we like to do that.
Al menos que tengamos 5.
Well, te lo robaron.
So that is impossible. Coins, in this case, we're talking about coins. In this, a nickel and a quarter, coins can change from one kind into another. So 1 lempira, you cannot change to a 500. It's 1 lempira, it's going to be 1 lempira all the time. And the last one, number 3, it says story event. The hat will take a day or 2 to reach the ground. Is it possible that, class? Yes?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, that's right. Imagine
No.
that you have a hat in your hands and you have it in your hands. But if you throw the hat to the ground, it's going to take just seconds to be in the ground. It's not going to take days or a week or 2 days. Si usted lanza un sombrero de su mano, va a caer bien rápido al piso. It's not going to take 2 days or 1 day or weeks, right? So that is impossible. But here in the story described in this way because it was in the story mentioned that there was a boy that is taller than everybody. It was big, so maybe if for that reason I mentioned. A hat would only take a second or 2 to fall to the ground. Everything, if you have a cell phone and you have a pencil, if you have a paper and you throw that to the ground, it's going to take just seconds, so quickly. It's not going to take weeks or days.
Eso solo pasa cuando son historias de fantasía.
That's right, Lucia. They're fictional stories.
You say that if you draw that, no va a durar ni 2. And I remember when yesterday se me rompió la pantalla del teléfono.
And it just takes seconds, right? Less than a second for do that. It's not going to take weeks, days. So that is making a judgment based on the knowledge that you know. In fact, you know that it cannot be possible. All these three things that they were mentioned in the story in Welcome to Max Brown's Family. It's not possible. They are exaggerations. But we're going to talk about what is an exaggeration.
I finish.
Okay, you finished the copy, class?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. You have one homework. What is your homework, class, in reading? Who knows what is the homework in reading?
That's
right. You need to complete an Schoology assessment. You have an Schoology assessment. You have like 4 or 5 questions.
But you need to read.
Yes, you need to read something. You need to read page 230 and 231.
Then complete a assessment.
Okay, excellent. Page 230 and 231, and then complete the Schoology assessment. Some of you start already working. That's good.
This is the homework, Yami.
That is the homework of last week. The homework of this week is another one, Rebecca. Okay, let's finish here. Show me your notebooks once you finish, class. Show me your notebooks, and if you have any questions, stay connected. If not, you are dismissed. Bye-bye.